Big up everybody and welcome to a fantastic episode of Blockbuster Movies, Games and Television, but I'm calling it BMGT, sorry. All right, and I'm going to present a good friend of mine, Has. Thank you very much for coming on tonight, mate, and talking about Digimon with me. And yeah, let's talk about season one. Begin with the best series for me. Season one, you got Ty, you've got Matt, you've got Sora, you've got TK, you've got Mimi, and you've got old reliable Joe as well. What were your thoughts on the first season of Digimon? Has?
Oh, well, you're gonna laugh. So I watched season one after I watched season two. So I only watched Digimon after season two. So then I went back and rewatched season one. You know when they were replaying it again on Fox Kids? I can't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
So I ended up rewatching it like after two, which is a bit weird, but anyway. But like for me, season one is like it's still one of my favorite animes. I think in general. It's funny because we were talking about the megas before. One of my favorite moments of the series is, you know, when Motismon goes to Venom Motismon, and then they have to they do the whole arrows with the two angels, and they talk about the prophecy of them.
Greymon, what did you both?
And Greymon and Metal Garurumon. That's one of my favorite like scenes. And I think because like, so with Digimon, I got into it later than Pokemon. So, but I really enjoyed season one. And I think the crest thing is a very good concept because it kind of builds like an adventure for the characters. I think to like earn a crest, that sort of thing. Like that's what I really like about it.
Agree. I agree. Do you know what? I agree with you. Yeah, the crest here added something extra because each child had to find. In Ty's case, he had to find his courage because he tried to force Agumon to digivolve. He turned into Skull Greymon.
I remember
and
that.
then until he found, and then he lost his courage and mojo again. So he had to find that, and once he found it, he became Metal Greymon.
Metal Greymon, yeah.
Then you've got Matt and his conflict. Because Matt, a lot of, do you know what I found in this year? A lot of the kids had conflicts within themselves as well, like Matt. Because it was like he was searching for friendship, and it's only through the series that you can actually see that he warmed himself and opened himself up. Because at the beginning of the series, I found him, because him and TK are brothers, and TK was a younger brother. I found him very protective and not trying to allow him to like fit into the group. But it's not until later on in the series, TK stands up for himself, and then Matt has to like find himself again. And it's, you know, when you fight the Six Lords, which is Mega Digimon.
Oh, the four Dark Masters. You're talking about the four Dark Masters.
That series, and you get and then he goes to the castle, and you see Matt versus Ty, and they're facing each other there. That's still Matt finding himself in it, and this is what I do like in the story, especially like every character, their arc is actually well respected. And then each Digimon, like Joe and Gomamon, don't really like each other too much. And they clash at the beginning, and then they grow a mutual friendship.
But also, like with Matt, what's interesting was that I think because remember Ty had what's her name? His sister
Sora. Oh no! Yeah, I know. You mean Corey?
Kari, is it Kari? Yeah. And she's like the seventh Digidestined, I think. And then basically, what I like about Matt, because I think Matt and TK, their parents, I might be wrong. I hope someone's watching this. Their parents split up, right? I think. And there's there's an underlying storyline within it because obviously Matt feels he's like has to be protective of TK, and then. Yeah, it's just really interesting. I think that, and they touch a lot on. I think the good thing about season one, they touched a lot on the relationship with the parents and the kids. Like
they did,
as in like how, because I think Mimi went on like some storyline. I remember one episode about that, like her mum, and then
she did,
like there was all,
Go on.
And there was like little like they each had their own like parents' issues or something like that. And then there'll be like one, I know it was like the Crest episode when they digivolve to Ultimate, but like they would have like their own little episodes where they would deal with a certain situation or they reflect on like how they treat their parents or they treat them. And then obviously
no, you're spot on. You're spot on, Has, because the episode where Togemon becomes Lilymon is that episode where Mimi and her mum, have that proper conversation. Sora and her mum is overprotective towards her, and it's only by her being overprotective towards B.M.G.T that B.M.G.T turns in that Virginmon become Digivolves as well. So it is. There is a common, even tying his parents and Corey, Kai and Kari and their parents right? They're more accepting of all the other ones when the fact that they accept Gatomon and Agumon, and they don't really make a fuss. While the other one, even Joe, even up in Stride, Joe's hiding Gomamon. So it is there. It's underlined. This is why I like the series. There's so many undertones going on in the series. But as I touched on him, I'm gonna say that transformation to War Greymon. I knew you would say War Greymon, man. What can I say? And of course, Metal Garurumon. Come on, we're playing with ultras here in the first series.
But like also another one was like obviously when Angemon finally digivolves to Magna Angemon, and then that was like because they repeat in number 2. We'll talk about number 2 later, but they repeat in number 2, but it's obviously not as like dramatic. But I remember like this image because I guess I told you before I rewatched it last year. So when TK's falling down and he's got like Matt in his hand because Matt's been transformed into like the little figure, and goes, "What would Matt think?" or whatever it was, and then suddenly, everyone's counting on me or something. I can't remember what he says in the dub. Everyone's counting on me, blah blah. And suddenly Angemon digivolves, and we waited like the whole season for Angemon to finally go to the ultimate level, like, and he's. But I was reading that Magna Angemon is almost like the same power as like a Mega anyway. So that's why like when he fought Piedmon right at the end, he like demolished him because he's an Angel Digimon, and because they have different typings, right? And also because it's basically just power is so powerful, basically. So that's why they
because he's an Archangel, isn't it? When he's Angemon, it's just a normal basic angel. But when he's dealing with when he becomes Magna Angemon, he's an Archangel basically. So he's the next step. And then we will talk about Tri later, because he digivolves to Magnamon as well. And you're like, whoa, what are you gonna digivolve into from the next level? But I'm gonna mention it quickly before we go into. We're gonna mention the first ever cross digivolving. Omnimon. What is Omnimon, bro? When you're dealing with 2 ultras, and they're becoming one ultra, which was introducing the film first of all, and that was a beautiful theme.
I remember watching the movie.
You haven't watched the original movie?
No, I have. I'm saying I remember watching it, but it was so long ago. Like, do you know what I mean? Because when they're in the digital web, and I forgot the villain's name in it. They're in the digital web and stuff. Like,
Kokomon and the Boromon. So it's the Boromon at the time when it's the Boromon when he turns but he becomes he infects Kokomon later on. I remember watching this in the cinema.
Oh, you went to cinema? I only watched it on my TV.
But it's but before the reason I mentioned this before season 2, is the fact that it's the first ever cross DNA Digivolve in the series.
DNA Digivolve, that's it. That's what we call it.
Right. Because season 2, which we're gonna mention now, had everything in there.
So many DNA Digivolve.
So you had Armor Digivolving to start with, because of Ken and he's stopping them from normal Digivolving.
Spires, isn't it? Spires, I think. Is it the spires?
So the spires that he put up, the spires that he put up here stopped them from normal Digivolving. But once they destroyed those, so they had to find out Armor Digivolving, and then each time they Armor Digivolve, which is Davis, Yoli, and Cody. When they digivolve, you can actually see the original characters behind them. So each one.
They did that. I know. I know. So you had Flame Dramon, Ray Dramon,
right?
So Drillmon,
Halcymon,
Halcymon, Wings of Love, they called it, or whatever.
That's the one.
Like,
and
Raydron, and then
Raydron was the friendship.
They got 2 of each, didn't they? Didn't they get like 2 of each? I think, or something.
They did,
like 2 of each, I think, in the end. I'm not
They
wrong.
did.
And then
And
obviously
what's his
Magnemon
name
was
put
like
one?
the last one. But you know what? You got honestly, I'm popular, but it's maybe because I like Vegeta. But I really like Ken. He's my favorite one in season 2.
Oh, do you know what? I like Ken, yeah.
Yeah.
But as we're gonna mention it now, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the cross DNA Digivolving between him and XBmon.
Yeah,
And then you see them become Pyodramon. That is Pyodramon. What can I say? I did have a picture of Pyodramon for everyone out there. What can I say? A cross
You know, I had a
Digivolving.
toy of his Mega when I was a kid. Imperial Dramon. I had a toy of his
Oh,
Imperial Dramon. Yeah.
yeah, Digivolve. Yeah, Pyodramon Digivolves again into Imperial Dramon,
Imperial Dramon.
and then it's got a fighter
Fighter
mode
mode.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. I used to have a toy when it like could transform into like both minds. I actually remember this, and I knew to mention Omnimon. I think that was the other one I had. I had like those two, and I was like, because obviously it came out when I was like what, like 6, 7 years. I don't know, I can't remember how many years I was watching
Yeah,
it.
that's fair
I had
enough.
but like one reason I really like Ken is the whole like redemption thing. I'm really a real sucker for watching these characters who are like bad, and then you realize their backstory, and you're like, okay, I'm not saying I'm just justifying the fact that he was bad, but like there's a reason for it. And then later on, he like redeems himself, even though with Ken. And the reason I like Ken a lot is because he kind of does the work, but because he feels like bad for what he did to the other Digidestin, he doesn't want to be part of the group, but Davis kind of insists in the end he becomes part of it. It's and also because I mean Ken, he was a Digimon Emperor. I hate to say it, I really like the villain, but like he was like insane. Like I really like the fact they use the human as a villain for once, because I don't think it happens in any other Digimon series from what I can remember. Because I'm mainly obviously just evil Digimon, but the fact they had like a human who was like a villain, like in the second season, like straight away, was really different. And I really liked it. Like it was really interesting the fact they did it that way, and obviously create Chimeramon, and obviously they did the whole Easter eggs of like Skull Greymon again, because he tries to force Pokemon to Digivolve to Metal Greymon, and then he does the evil Metal Greymon. Then he makes Chimeramon. Like I thought it was pretty insane, and I know he had a really bad relationship with Wormmon. In the end, obviously they make up, but like I like the. Just I don't know. I just think sometimes things don't go smoothly. So I think with his character, because it didn't go smoothly, I felt like they fleshed him out really well. Like I really like Ken. I know it sounds bad because he's like the villain in the first.
You know what? Do you know what? I'm going to say I agree with you. Ken had one of the best arcs in the Digimon
I think the franchise.
Digimon.
I'm not gonna lie. Like from all the Digimons I've ever watched, like he's my favorite arc. I know it sounds bad because he's like the villain, not the first bit, but
no, it's fair enough, because even when you see the way Cody is towards him, because Cody takes the longest of all of them. Because of his sense of discipline, he's the largest destined to really accept Ken on the team, and their dynamics within their friendship is quite strong. But yeah, I agree with you. Ken's arc here, from how he's misled because of Kenimon and Myotismon in the background, and how they set him up as a Digimon Emperor. It basically play on the fact that he hasn't got any friends, and that's why.
It sounds weird. I remember the Digivice is like he thought it was his brother's, or it was, I can't remember. And then he takes it, and then so that was a bit incomplete. I can't remember whether it was actually his, and because his brother passed away. I think his brother passed away.
Yeah, that's correct. That's all right, mate.
Yeah,
his brother passed away.
Away, and then he kind of escapes by going to the digital world. Really, like as in like I think his arc's so fleshed out, and like it's so much more depth. I know the other characters have their own arcs, but I just like out of all the franchises, Ken's arc I think is just the best. Just
do you know what?
This is my opinion. I just really like it. Yeah.
No. Your opinion is spot on, because of that arc here, it leads to argue Kenimon and Mummymon, and the revelation that Myotismon from the original series was still alive and still in the background. So from all of that led to the whole series. And you know what? Ken's arc at the beginning was brilliant, but it just shows you it. And you know, it's the amount of respect it actually gives the audience who watch it. It's like, it's something different. It's dark and it's gritty, but it's also something different as well.
Because I mean, like, also Blackwall Greymon. I mean, he's so sick in season 2. Blackwall Greymon, but he's still like a side character, I guess. Like, I liked him, but he was more like a side character. But also, like, obviously, like you said, the friction between Ken and the group. Like, obviously, that was built up before because they played football against him or something, and Dave was like, "Oh, that's Ken. I'm going to beat him in a football match," and I think Ken like beats them like really badly, and then they because they also at the beginning they have to work out who Digimon Emperor is, which is what I thought was really interesting because I was just like, who is it? Obviously, it must be like a kid because you know. But
No,
like,
it was. Even like you said, even at the football match between them, the rivalry between them, and because I think Ken scored 5 goals in that game, and showed Davis up as well, and Davis was already touchy because Davis, is this is why I like this series as well. Davis is the cross between Matt and Ty.
Yeah, he is.
And you can actually, and this is why when they armor Digivolve, in the different forms, you see Matt and Ty behind him. Because you can actually see how he's basically between those two. And the same with
the goggles. Because Ty gives him the goggles, doesn't he? As well?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, in the first episode, because he snapped his original one, so Ty gave him his one to take his place. Because he said it's the leader of the group. Yeah, you need to have a pair of goggles. So Ty does pass on the mantle to Davis, and then Davis has a secret romance with Corey as well.
He loved Corey in it. Yeah,
he did. He did indeed.
But then I was Corey, right? If I'm not wrong, doesn't TK end up with Corey?
Secretly, I would say just yes.
Yeah,
but they never actually put it. They never actually showed it. Though.
They didn't. And then,
but it is something that was hinted in the background. But let's go back to the series. Yeah, let's talk about
who did you prefer, Davis then, or did you prefer?
Yeah, I like Davis, and I like Vmon.
Vmon's really cool. Like Vmon,
and then I did like X Vmon, and then I was a big fan of Pyodramon. But when it steps to Imperial Dramon, and it's the fighter mode as well, that was different. It's like, this Digimon's not got one form; it's got 2 forms going on.
Yeah.
And then
he got a third form, doesn't he? I think is it Paladin mode or something?
Yeah, I think so. So it's got.
I think Paladin mode or something. I think it's called. Let me Google it.
But the speed of Imperial Dramon, do you remember the Christmas? Do you remember the episode where they all have to go across the planet?
Yeah.
the speed of Imperial Dramon. It's basically gets into the sky. The splits. There's so many and each one, he drops them all off into a different part of the planet as well. Because if I remember right, Zora and Yoli go to Russia. If I'm correct. Ty and Mac. Ty and DK go to France. But everywhere they go around the planet, or just on the back here of Imperial Dramon, the Digivolving itself was brilliant as well. But I was
like destined around the world, weren't they? Because originally in the first one, there's only 7. We think, there's only meant to be 7 destined, and that's it. But because I've been reading a lot about the lore in terms of like the Digidestined, and apparently there was a Digidestined before the original Digidestined we saw, and the season 1. Apparently there's a Digidestined before them. I don't know if they're ever going to do a series about that, but apparently there is. But then and they're the original, because I think what's his name? Is it Genai speaks about it?
Genai's the one who recruits them. And then he becomes Genai's the one who recruits them in the beginning and makes them Digidestined. But the original ones here, right? If you watch the original movie, it's at the beginning of the big one that was released in America. That was the first time they showed it, but they didn't make the original movie with the Hidden View Terrace. You know where where basically this is how the Digidestined was formed. Yeah, you had Ty and you had Corey, Kyrie. Both getting both finding Koromon, and then that became Agumon, and with the whistle. and then you had Parrotjamon come down, and then the six other children, Sora, Matt, TK, Iggy, and Joe, all see the devastation from the first battle, and that's how they became Digidestined. And then the second lot, Digidestined, become Digidestined because they see Myotismon versus the original ones. And so they become the new Digidestined, and that's why they go all over the world because it's televised at the time, innit? So they can see because the young children can see the Digimon. Yeah, they become the next set of Digimon Digidestined, which is if I can get that word out right. They become the next
Digidestined,
Digidestined.
And then they had in season 2 they had like the change of like the devices because season 1 it was like a certain shape and then they changed again. It's like a different. I don't know. I can't remember the explanation why. Because obviously TK's changes even though he had the original.
Because of
season 1.
Yeah, it's because of the armor digivolving. Because they had to find another way because Ken blocked the normal digivolving. Because they had to do armor digivolving, because they were grabbing the armor egg. As soon as they grabbed the armor egg, the original one, the Digivolves changed to D3s, and that's how they were able to get in and out of the digital world because
they used to just do the thing out of the computer. Because remember the original Digidestined in season 1 spent the whole season in the digital world.
That's correct.
Like season 2, they were like in and out, weren't they? You're right. And then they did the storyline where the Digimon came to like the normal reality. Obviously, at the end, they did that near to the end.
The first season, I would say the first 26 episodes of the original season, right? They were set in a digital world. They couldn't get out, and it's only
they couldn't get out. I remember.
They got out because they followed Myotismon through into the real world.
The portal. Portal,
and so that there was, and then you had Lilymon and you had Zunamon changing on Earth, and then when they went back to the digital world, after defeating Myotismon, and they fought the 6 Dark Emperors, that's when they were back. That's when they went. That's where the series ended, didn't it? After that battle, and then once that battle finished,
what's the mountain called again? Oh, it's gonna annoy me.
Spiral Mountain.
Spiral Mountain. That's it.
Spiral Mountain. Once they destroyed Spiral Mountain, and each time they defeated one of the Dark Emperors, one of the spirals would go down. Remember? With one of them was Metal
Machinedramon,
Metal Machinedramon,
Puppetmon, and Piedmon. I remember all 4 of them.
Piedmon was my favorite one, from the keychain bit, man, because that was menacing. When you start seeing the throwing towers.
I really like Machinedramon. I don't know why. It was on that one a lot.
Yeah, but he got sliced, guy.
Yeah, he got sliced.
My man was just like, it's seconds. You see Agumon Digivolve. Seconds later, you see him just move past the shooting one. My man just bits and pieces of him falling behind in the way. It's like, yo. Like I was the moment I said, Greymon, you're a bad dude, you know. Seconds, it was just like, I'm not playing with Greymon after that.
Greymon and his evolutions are also in like some other Digimon seasons. Obviously, we're not talking about them.
I agree.
I know they're in like, which one is it called? Where he turns into a different version of Greymon. I can't remember what it's called though.
I think it's I think you're talking about Data Squad. I think Data Squad also had a Lily. They had a Rosemon in there, which is the ultimate form of Togemon as well, of Patamon. So they did bring in the original series, the original Digimon into later series. I agree with you on that. There were a lot of them.
But he was a different Agumon because I think it had like a red band or something. I don't know.
It was.
Distinguish it, I guess. Like everyone doesn't think, oh, that's tight. What are you doing, Ty's Agumon? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But I do like the original Agumon, because I'm gonna say this now. I watched Digimon Try last week, and it was well worth it. Again, I had to go back and watch the original ones again because I said, you know what, these 6, I enjoyed their arc so much. I want to see what they were like later on in there, because we see a little bit on the edge of Digimon Adventures 2, but they didn't really go into it because it was the last episode. But when you watch Try, you have to get to see them years later, and the conflict that each one has. Again, and
Yeah.
especially with Tai, when Tai is the leader, and then you see the devastation that Digimon cause when they come over here. It's like he takes it upon himself, and so he has a conflict of interest with the Digimon. Well, that's what I felt with Tai. What with Try? What were your thoughts with Digimon Try?
Well, it like with like every anime, right? Because for years and years we want to see the original cast get used again, isn't it? Or like how they aged or you know later on. You know that's like why Dragon Ball's doing so well. Obviously, we spoke about Dragon Ball before, but because obviously it has Super and whatever. But like Try was kind of like the Super version, I guess, of the original. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I was saying this to you earlier. Actually, I'm going to say it now. Yeah, all right. There's a lot of links between this year and Daima. You know where Vegeta finally gets his Super Saiyan 3 after 20 years, after watching Goku become Super Saiyan 3, in Dragon Ball Z. You look at Tai and Matt, in the original Digimon series, and they get War Greymon and Metal Garurumon years and years before the others can get to the Ultra forms. And you don't get to see that until you see Try, and then when you get to see Magna Carbuterimon, and it's like,
is it Hercules? Hercules
Hercules, Hercules, and then you start to see Rosemon.
You know what? I knew that was going to be its evolution because I used to have this book and it had like the cards in it, and it was a card before it. They put it, and as in like Hercules Carbuterimon was like a card of like the fourth. Mega Kabuterimon mega form. So I always thought if they were ever going to do a series and do like this thing, they were going to put Hercules Kabuterimon, and I felt like I got a lot of payoff when that happened because I was like, I knew this. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, yes,
I like that.
yeah.
No, I like that, because I like that because I like the fact that was actually showcasing the card form before you got it. And so, like you said, the payoff for it yourself is like, you know what, that's justification. I had a feeling that it would become Hercules, man. It's tearing your mind. It's like, you're gonna be Hercules, man, mate. You will be there, I swear. But it's like when you watch Rosemon.
I always wondered when I watched Adventure #1, like why did the other ones not get mega forms? Because I was like, surely if they went mega, they would have destroyed Piedmon. Like really, wouldn't they? But then and the Dark Master, they would have destroyed them, innit? But because they didn't, it meant that Metal Garurumon and Greymon had to do most of the work until obviously Piedmon when Magna Angemon came. But like obviously they even did a mega form of Magna Angemon. I forgot the name of it now though. Like I forgot the angel forms, the full forms.
Mate, it's the way that they evolved the storyline for me, and they kept it true to the original ones.
Yeah, they did.
And that's what I liked about, because with Try, right? They knew that there was a generation of fans here who loved the original Digimon Adventures and Digimon Adventure Season 2. So they to pay them off by making all of them on the same level eventually was something special. But when I say the last one, mate, because I'm gonna say it now, when all 6 of them join together, Omnimon is Metal Garurumon and War Greymon. What is a Megamon, man, when it's all 6 of them together? I see my partner in crime. You're talking about Pokemon, bro. You ain't beating a Megamon. A Megamon is something else. That is, if right, Megas, on their own, especially the top Digivolution, right. So what is 2 Megas, right? Let alone what is 6 Megas combined. What is that? That's God level status of a Digimon. That can't be beaten.
I'm sure online there's a name for it, but I have no idea what it's called. It reminded me of, like how in the first season they obviously beat Venom Myotismon. And then they beat the Dark Master. But there's like another villain right at the end. I forgot the name of it now.
I know the one.
Computer thingy with the
arms.
Of arms. I forgot what it's called now.
I remember because I remember
back to that because I was like, oh, now we have all 6 in one, I guess. For the Digidestin or 7 with Digidestin. But also, like, I think the good thing about Try is because they're like more mature, and I think the good thing about anime, which I think a lot of people kind of sleep on, is the character development like is really really good. Like
Agreed.
in like it's with anime, because a lot of them also go on for years and years. Like you see when you're an adult that they kind of like the characters have matured as well, I guess. That makes sense.
Agreed.
Obviously, you're older, but the characters, and the good thing about Japanese is that they know how to deal with these sorts of things. I think, like, they know what to do. Like, they have to make it obviously, but like, what's the word? Like, they need some conflict, but then they have to kind of make sure it fits into like the same sort of narrative, like the original sort of thing. I don't know. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're spot on. You're spot
Yeah.
on because there's. All right. Do you know what I like about Try? There's a one piece in there where they have to. They have to. All the Digimon get infected, and
Oh
they
yeah.
basically
Yeah.
have to wipe their system and that. Yeah. And when the Digidestined go back to the digital world, yeah, they find the Digimon partners, but a lot of them they get on straight away, or they have a little bit of a tiff here, and then they
Yeah.
make up, and then each one find each other, except for one, yeah, which is Biomon and Zora. And the way that Biomon is to Zora, the cold attitude, it's like,
Yeah.
where did this come from? And it's like everything that Zora tries here is just not enough, and Biomon is just proper raw
I
to
think
her.
it's
It's
because like what I think people are like with Digimon, because they're Digimon partners. Like it's kind of like
yeah,
a relationship, I guess. And because I
yeah,
guess
the ultimate
Digimon,
side.
like abandonment, I guess. I think that's what I
Mm.
can't remember anyway. Was something like abandonment, I guess, of like you, because obviously Billmon didn't always get along with Sora anyway. What I remember in season 1 and 2, like at the end, yeah, but at the beginning it was a bit
It
because
was the
Sora
control
was
factor. I
yeah
felt I felt with Sora, yeah, because I think she was the way that they designed her, yeah, she was like a single child to her mum, and
yeah
her mum was the only one in her life, and
yeah
the way her mum was overprotective towards her, and I think there was an episode there where she gets injured, playing football, I believe, and
mm,
her mum's overprotective nature meant that she didn't want her to go outside just in case another injury happened. And it
yeah
was reflected in with the way that Zora was with Biomon. She didn't want Biomon to
to get hurt.
be,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly, because she didn't want the fight being hurt. And the way that she was overly protective was stopping Biomon from digivolving and reaching her
Oh
potential.
yeah.
Right, and then when she let go, Biomon evolved, yeah, into not Virgimon, but into something else. And
Yeah.
I think it was the same way in Try, where Biomon finally, once Biomon's memory had been cleared and wiped because of the infection that was given
Infection.
by
Yeah.
right. So once they got the mind cleared, Biomon became Biomon again, but she didn't want to really accept Zora's leadership and
Mm,
overprotective nature, and it took her time, yeah, for her to finally accept her as a friend.
mm.
She would go to anyone else but Zora, even when Zora was giving her food, because Zora, being Zora, yeah, was like a motherly figure to the group. She would look up to the group,
Yeah,
not
yeah, you're right. Yeah, because Mimi was kind of like I don't know what put her
the
as this.
self-centered one, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And Joe was like the really like he
The
was
all reliable one.
yeah, like he was kind of like taking no risks. I remember he didn't want to do any
Yeah,
risks. And we'll see what's his name with the computer. I forgot his name now. Oh god, it's coming to my head.
that's Iggy. Yeah,
Yeah, he was Izzy with the computer was very like calculating everything and the knowledge. Obviously,
yeah.
you've got the question of knowledge, of course, but
Oh.
he, yeah, him and Tentamon, I quite like that. I quite like them together personally. I think
So,
it's good.
so who's your favorite then? So
Well,
who if you had to,
out of all the first 7, oh
yeah, bro. At the first, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna make it even better for you. I'm gonna say
yeah,
at the first 2 series here, because we're talking about
yeah,
this tonight. Yeah, who was your
yeah,
favorite Digivolution, and who was your favorite who was your favorite Digidestined, and who was your favorite
yeah.
Digivolution?
That's a good question. I need to think. Um, but I'd say my favorite Digi Evolution was probably Pilgrimon. But that's
Oh,
partly because of nostalgia. Because like I had the toy, I guess, but also because Digimon was the only one to go Mega in that series, like to go to the next level. But in terms of your destiny, it's quite a hard question. What do you think? Because I like a lot of there's different like parts of them I really like. I guess based on what I've just said today, probably Ken. I don't know. I think probably Ken. But because I know when I was younger, I think I really liked Ty a lot. Like you, like I really like Ty, and I like Matt actually. I know a lot of people don't like Matt, but I actually think he's
fair enough.
Yeah.
No. So what, Matt, over the years, Matt grew on me. I'm gonna lie, you know. I was not a big fan of Matt in the original series, especially when he was finding himself when he was fighting in the woods against
Puppetmon.
it's Puppetmon, and then TK in the house and everything else. So I wasn't a big fan of Matt. But when I watched the movie, and my nephew pointed this out to me, it's when he disappears into the thing, the guy's looking for him in the shop. It's like, where's he gone? Where's he gone? Where's he gone? It's like, bro, the man's disappeared. He's gone into the actual game itself.
But I think Matt grew on me. Matt dealt with a lot of like insecurity. That's what I felt like for a lot of the series, like especially like he dealt for some reason he could tell he was insecure about like just because he wanted to be protective, then he had to deal with obviously his parents. And then by being overprotective of like TK, it meant TK was like never going to grow because he was like never going to face some sort of challenge. Obviously, in the end, he does with Magnet Andromon, right? But like, as in, he always wants to be protective, and then because of the situation. But then, like, I don't know. I thought like he developed really well. But like, I think with Izzy and Tentamon, because they're kind of in the background a lot. Like, I don't think people really notice them. Like, they do a lot of stuff, but they don't because they don't face some sort of like massive struggle. I think that's why people don't really like bind to them that well. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing
like,
about Izzy,
they're good characters. They just yeah.
No, bro, do you know about Izzy and Tentamon? Yeah, I want to say Try done them the best, you know, because Try actually evolved Izzy and Tentamon, to where Izzy has like a relationship with Mimi. Or there's something like an undercurrent, isn't it? It's like shit because Mimi actually goes from after the original series. Mimi leaves Japan. She goes to America for a little while.
Oh yeah,
and then, and then she dyes her hair for season 2, and then when you watch Try, she comes back to Japan, and when she meets Izzy, there's like a drive between the two of them, or are they gonna get together? Is they aren't they? And somehow, Tentamon and Palamon both like to play games between the two of them as well. And
but that's another good thing about Try, because obviously if they didn't do Try, they couldn't have done stuff like that, like put characters together like that because they weren't old enough, I guess, in the original series, like an adult relationship and like how they dealt with it or didn't deal with it, because I've done that. That's a good thing about a lot of anime because they last for such a long time. They can do stuff like this. But yeah, I always wondered when I watched the first one whether any of them were ever, like I mentioned about TK and Kari. I was like, oh, did they get together in the end? Because you could see I thought it was gonna be something. But that's good thing about Try. At least they kind of like gave us some sort of resolution. All these I think
there was no revolution, but do you know what I also like about Try? Because for me, I've always felt this with someone like Joe, because Joe was old reliable, but you'd always put tests and results in getting to be number 1 in the class like putting too much demand and pressure on himself. And for me, his arc was all about self-discovery, the fact that he realized he can't be perfect all the time. And it's not until you see Try, where he's actually like exerting himself, going to different tests, and you can see him pushing against the barrier. Like he's got so much high demands of himself, and then he can't be all things to all men. And for me, it's not until you see Try that he actually gets that message where you can't be perfect all the time. You are going to make mistakes, and it takes Goemon to come back for him to realize. This is why I like the balance between him and Goemon, where Goemon seems to be the grounded one and keeps the grounded one. Joe is always demanding more of himself, and so that's why I've always said this. The storylines behind Digimon are so more fleshed out and more mature than I would say for Pokemon. And
Oh
this
yeah,
is why I
100%.
prefer Digimon.
I love Pokemon so much, and the intro Pokemon's like, I'm sorry to say this because I'm Digimon stream, but the intro to Pokemon, like the original, was like just I can't like ever not, it's one of my favorite ever.
I agree.
Like the intro, from the original Pokemon, the song, the theme song. Oh yeah, that's like so good. Like Digimon's one was good, but it's just too good. But I know what you mean, because Pokemon, they don't really flesh out Ash that much, even though it's been going on for so long. Like they don't.
I agree.
He has some character development, but they mainly focus on the actual Pokemon rather than like the the human characters as much.
Yeah.
With Digimon, it's the opposite. They kind of do a bit of both. Like they do focus a lot more on the humans, I think, because Matt's story, these storylines, and you see they have an episode each sort of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously they have the relationship with the Digimon, because they only have one. I think they can flesh it out a lot better. But yeah, for me, I think that's why I said probably Ken, because I just like the whole conflict and then like resolution, because it's more, I think it's more like grounded, like and like Matt, I felt Matt's storyline was better in season 1 than Ty's, because I didn't feel like Ty really, I felt he was like fighting for control with Matt a lot of the time in season.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what, Hashi? I'm gonna agree with you, man, on the fact that when I watched season 1, and I watched Myotis more, and the way that they designed Matt's character out, and because Matt went and lived with his dad, while TK went with his mum. So
that's why.
So it was a bit like they were both split up with different sides of the family, and So when Matt was around TK, he'd be overprotective because he doesn't really get to see him that much. So that's where the storyline came in. But with Ty, Kyrie was already sick after the original episode. That's why she was at the camp. With the first time when it was Digimon, she was sick, so she wasn't able to go. So when they did the Digidestin, the 70 Digidestin, and she was the 70 Digidestin, and they went back home, and Gatomon met her, and Gatomon became her Digimon. And Angie Woman, and later Angie Woman divorced again. So, but when you start to see that storyline flesh out, that's when I think Ty comes into his own. And then when you see and then when you see the bit where the fight at the TV studio, and they warp Digivolve for the first time, which we were talking about earlier, where he throws the arrows of light, and there's and one thing about Digimon, is they do a lot of Destiny where they write it down beforehand.
And there's a bit of scriptures,
the prophecy, and they prophesize beforehand that lots of arrows will come from angels and strike their loved one. But while none of the others had brothers and sisters, Chris, Matt, and Ty had, so once the angels cast those arrows, they warp Digivolve into Metal Garurumon and to War Greymon. And then you start to see more, but that's what I like about what
Ty where I think Ty does best is when he wants to fight the bad guy straight away. Sometimes it can be to his detriment for Skull Greymon, but at the end with Piedmon, maybe you don't remember. I don't even remember this. He was the first one, or the only one, I think, to go to Piedmon by himself, and he had to wait for the other Digidestin. I can't remember where they were in the digital world at that point.
Because like we were saying earlier, a lot of them were doing soul searching during the Piedmon episode, the Piedmon part of the series. Because if you remember rightly, they all went off and did their own thing. Because Mimi went off with Joe, and then she recruited an army of Leomon and
and Ogumon.
And then Matt went off to find himself and found the dark cave and basically sunk.
And he had
Zoro went off, and then when Ty went after Piedmon, he basically told Zoro to go and get Matt, because he knew Matt was the only one who could sit up with him to get against Piedmon, and he needed Metal Garurumon.
What I'm saying is he took on Piedmon by himself, because he's the leader of the group, sort of thing. So I like that part of Ty a lot, because even though sometimes it got him to danger, because obviously Greymon was the first one to Digivolve into ultimate form to Metal Greymon, which is one of my favorite transformations, actually, just because of the roar at the end. He goes, metal. There's the way he said it on the dub was like sick.
Like metal grey. And the mouth opened up and everything, and the sideways glance and everything. Fair enough. Even when you see,
because he went and did it by himself, like he was basically saying, "I'm the leader. Like I have to set the tones really the right way, but I have to take responsibility and to like deal with Piedmon whilst everyone else they get the group together." If that makes sense, because he knew they had to go. Because like you said, he sent Sora to find Matt because he knows I need Matt to do this, but at this point I have to hold him off for like however long. And like Will Graham was getting like battered. Like I don't know how many episodes. It was 2-3 episodes.
He does.
Like, Will Graham was getting like destroyed by Piedmon, and like he was still carrying on until everyone else came. And then like it was like for me that was like basically his biggest show of courage in the whole series. I thought like as in for Ty himself, like he was a real leader. I'm not gonna lie, like he was a real leader. I think with Davis, he was a leader, but kind of like a different way. As in, it's hard to explain that because he wanted to bring them all together. That was his sort of leadership to try and keep them all together. Whilst Ty was like, I'm going to be the first one to deal with this, which means everyone else should deal with it like as well, sort of thing. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it that way.
No. 100%.
Yeah.
No, do you know what? Mate, you are 100% correct. Yeah. When you say what you said there, you're spot on. With Ty, all right, he was more like a leader of I'm going to do it first, and then you follow me or you back me up, but as a leader, I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to go first. But with Davis, it was more teamwork, as in getting people to fight along.
Like with Ken, the thing with Ken was a lot of it was Davis. Bear in mind, Davis spent most of the first half when he was a Digimon Emperor. He hated Digimon Emperor. He was the one who defeated him with Magnamon.
Yeah,
he was like didn't he have a punch up with Ken? I'm sure he had a punch up with Ken.
He does, But before he becomes Paljamon, before the first time it become Paljamon, him and Davis Davis and Ken have a punch up, and Davis punches Ken, and then that's when Ken wakes up, isn't it? And Ken, and then and that's when the Digivices go off, and Ken can feel Davis's heart, and Davis can feel Ken's heart.
And then they go DNA.
Even the storyline to the first DNA evolving, in that series, they respect, because they give you like a little like stairways towards it, so you know it's gonna happen, but they each one of them gets an understanding before they DNA digivolve. While when you watch Matt and even when you watch the original series, Matt and Ty's relationship isn't really explained at the beginning. It's not great at the beginning, but later on in the series, when Kyrie gets released to the 7th Digidestined, Matt let go of TK and he finds himself. Zora finds herself. The only one who really doesn't need to find himself is Joe, because Joe knows who Joe is. But everybody else finds himself, and then when you see, and then that's when the relationship grows between him and Matt, and after the wrestled there, who wants to be the leader, blah blah blah, which you see when you see Metal Greymon versus Metal Garurumon.
The fight, innit? They fought, didn't they?
Right. That's the fight of dominance of who's the leader. But when you watch the movie, it's like, oh, this is where their friendship is, and they remain best friends even throughout, even though there's still rivalry between them. They still remain best friends, or even into Tri. That's how strong the bonds of friendship are, and that's what Onimon was able to be brought out in the movie. Really, is because of the power of their friendship and the fact that Matt sort of was tight. Even when you watch season 2. It's a bit, where when Agumon gets captured by the Digimon Emperor, see how Matt's reaction is? It's like, straight away, I'm going to go get Agumon back. It's like, whoa, where did that level of friendship come from? It's like, my man was convinced, I'm getting my man's Digimon back, it's not even happening. That kind of level of friendship.
But that's why I think Digimon as a series is like better than Pokemon, because it's more character development. Like, it's just, I think is way better. And obviously, because they're just dealing with one mon, like to watch the Digimon like evolve into higher forms is more interesting. Because like with Pokemon, I guess it's like loads of characters with loads of Pokemon, but they focus a lot more on the Pokemon. So sometimes it's better in the series they focus more like on both. And I think Digimon does that really well. Like with
I
the
agree with you, Hash. As brother, I agree with you 100%, man. You are absolutely spot on, Has, man. Every time you say it, bro, it's the truth, brother. And I agree with you, man. When it comes to Digimon, yeah, I just find the character development, yeah, and the way that the storyline is done, I just think it disrespects the audience more. When I watch Pokemon, no disrespect, yeah, but how many years has it been, yeah? And I'm swear down, this man has not had a birthday yet. This man is still 10 years old, isn't it? My man's walking around the Hoenn region, yeah, and the Sinnoh region at 10 years old. What are we doing here, brother? This man looks like in a time machine every episode. So I'm gonna stick with the Digimon, yeah, where I can actually see this. They can actually grow up from children to like into real adults, and the storylines are more complex than the boy that's walking around Pokemon, yeah, still being 10 years old, and he doesn't know whether he's in love with me, with Misty, or is it the other one, April, or is it May this week? Which one are you in love with, brother? Because one of them, yeah, my man, you're a free-timer up in there, guy. But what?
Ash is like, like, I just think, also because it's a bit less, it's less characters, and like, okay, it's a Digidestined group of 4 or 5, 4 to like 6 or whatever. But because they're Digimon, but because it's less, it's just better to like, of course they have the villains as well, like, because my favorite villain, I know it probably is Myotismon, to be honest. It's very hard to argue otherwise.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say Myotismon.
Problem is, I'm not talking about season 2. Like season 1, Myotismon is like a menace. Like, because when he comes out of nowhere like a vampire, just like what's going on? Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? And the mist and everything else. And
he's
just Oh, do you know what I like?
Sick. Like they were sick, and obviously
do you know what? Do you know what I found was dark? You know how they all had henchmen, yeah? Each one of them had their own henchmen. Do you know how each one of the bad guys killed their own henchmen? And I felt so bad for, is it Demimon? You know the little one that was actually going around and doing the hard work for my man, Myotismon. My man just munches him and just eats his for breakfast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it
when you've been a Myotismon? Is that when he does it? I can't remember.
He does, he swallows poor Devimon, man. Just eats him whole, It's like, oh, thank you for the services we buy. Your services are no longer needed.
Is he the one who kills Wizardmon? Am I wrong?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
That was a dark episode. But like, that's why my one was like the best. I think most people say this because Devimon was like the first one, but he was all right. He wasn't like that great. And then obviously in season 2 you had obviously the Mummymon,
and the Kennymon, and then Myotismon at the end of it.
Like the original Myotismon was like the best one, I think, because I even watched a video about this. Like everyone says the same thing. Like he was such a good villain. Like
I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm gonna say 2. How's I'm gonna say 2? I'm gonna say Myotismon. I like Myotismon. I like the arc of Myotismon in the real world and everything else. But there's something about Piedmon, that this man is something else, When you see him come down, and he's fighting, and he fights Tai, and he throws the little rag over him, and he becomes a keychain, and he walks around, he's like, "Come with a keychain, through the paperwork, and like this keychains, just like, and then he gathers them round himself, and it's like you have the belt in it. And just puts the kids on the belt, and it's like
on the belt,
It's just like this is extra, dude. This is some clown, just making people with the keychains and just walking around them as well, and taking pleasure in it. Even when I think when Tentomon and Easy get caught, they're on a trapeze or something like that. It's just like Piedmon is extra. So I have to give it to Piedmon as one of the best villains in this series, man. But
because I'm trying to think of 2, but in 2, like, what's the guy's name? What not? Because there's like you have Mummymon, Arikennymon, and there's like a human guy.
Yeah,
He
I
always gets
know.
manipulated. I forgot his name now though.
I know.
And
I know
then
who you're talking about. Him and Ken
like
had a
Ken has beef
backstory
with
in it.
him. Ken has beef with him because he's like, "Are you the one who like corrupted me?" But also, the other thing I like about Ken is the dark digivice because he puts it in the ocean or something and it becomes dark or something. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Like you realize later in season 2 that he wasn't like manipulated. Obviously, at the beginning, he's like evil, seen as like evil and like an arrogant. That's the reason why they get him to score 5 goals against David. It's the same like this arrogant,
Yeah.
guy. Whether like he's the best at everything, he's the best at everything, and then they dealt with it like a lot more. Like that's what I like about season 2. It's more like season 1's amazing, but season 2's a bit because they deal a lot with more the friction between the characters a lot better, and I think that because they made Ken into a villain, I thought that was I thought that was so sick. The fact they made like a human into like a villain in Digimon world was like
I agree.
such a.
No.
When I started watching, I was like, what? How is he like? I thought because obviously Myotismon, Paimon, whatever in the first season. It's like I just thought that's why I think Ken. I keep saying Ken's probably my favorite because I just think he was when I was younger. It was probably someone like Ty or Matt, but as I've watched the series again like a few times, it's probably probably Ken. I don't know.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree. Ken's storyline was brilliant. Do you know what else I like? Yeah, when you watch Try and you watched Dark Jedi and he has a Ken form as well. That's another bad villain because for him, right. I never felt his storyline was finished because he escaped at the end of Try.
No, he was like a side character, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, but the thing is, he was the original Jedi who they call the Digidestin down there and partnered them up with Digimon and everything else. But because of what happened in another when they've been, I think it's B.M.G.T, he became evil, and so you see it in Try, where he becomes evil and he's basically looking to
that's it. Oikawa, is that his name?
Orikawa.
That's the one I'm looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, the storyline with him and Ken. Because
that was really interesting. I was really interesting. Yeah. He was like,
see what I'm saying? They respected the characters enough here, and they fleshed them out enough that people enjoyed them so much here that even now, people can remember the storylines of
the thing with me, everyone knows I'm a nerd at this point, anyway, so it's fine. But like, I watch videos about, I don't know, like I watch videos about this sort of stuff all the time, like about the Digimon, like the different, like there's channels in it, and they talk about what Mega is or like the Ken storyline. Well, like because I want to also remember it because it's stuff I grew up watching.
Right.
Like
no.
I'm into that sort of thing, personally, man. I
wouldn't have you on here if you went into that sort of thing, man. I love you having you on here, man. I love bouncing off you, brother. So thank you very much for coming on tonight, man. Because episodes like this, right? I remember taking my nephew to the cinema to watch this as a young boy, and I remember watching it with him, and watching Wormmon evolve into Stingmon, brother. So anytime I get to talk about it and remember some of my childhood, man, I'm all for it. So thank you very much for coming on tonight.
That's fine. I mean, I still need to rewatch.
I'm gonna have you on for more episodes.
I need to rewatch Yu-Gi-Oh as well because I haven't already watched.
Brother. Brother, I'm gonna build a whole new Yu-Gi-Oh one anyway, but I'm gonna do the first series, but it's not until I do my 5Ds and I talk about Jack Atlas that you see the best of me on the Yu-Gi-Oh.
He was a menace, man. He was a menace. He was he was a menace.
When I'm dealing with,
let me know because I've rewatched all of the series. I think I haven't watched like the last 2 or something, maybe. I don't know.
I did.
I think I watched up to 5Ds as well. I don't know if I watched the other ones. I can't remember. I don't remember. I think I might have watched the other ones, but I don't remember them as well. Like the original, obviously, the best one. GX was good. I actually like GX because I used to watch it after school because obviously they were at school as well. Obviously, 5Ds is really good. That's like a lot darker than some of the other ones. Yeah.
I think it's the darkest one of all of them. To be fair.
The
Arc Reactor. It's a dark. Do you know that's why it's my favorite? It's not only is it the synchro summing of the numbers, and you have to get the 2 numbers to equal up to 11, 7. So, and not only is that, but it's a dark, good storyline of the of where Yusei came from, because he originally joined the satellite and then went into the what's his name, into the suburbs, and then Jack Atlas was born in the suburbs and went into the city. So it's like role reversal.
But
I'm gonna talk about this in the Yu-Gi-Oh episode, brother, because we will build a Yu-Gi-Oh episode. But first and foremost, thank you for tonight, Has, for coming on.
man.
And hopefully we'll have you on again very soon, man. We could talk about more anime, man, including a Yu-Gi-Oh one. So Has, I leave you to say goodbye to the lovely audience, man.
Okay, take care. Thanks, everyone.
Right, and I'm gonna say thank you very much for joining us tonight. Smash a like and subscribe. I'm gonna leave Haz's in the description for the channel in the community section. And thank you very much for watching us, and we'll see you next time on the B.G.M.T. Thank you very much.